Good morning all of you. Hope you're doing good. As you know, we have been discussing our chapter knowing our numbers. A number of topics were being discussed related to this chapter. Clear? And today there is a speciality or there is a good news for you that today we would discuss the last topic from this chapter. And do you know which is the last topic from this chapter we are going to discuss? And it is about estimation. Okay, so from today this chapter would be completed. And on the next class we would be discussing some special type of questions from this chapter. And we also discuss some other questions which had been given as your homework, and most of you faced some difficulties to solve it. Clear? So from your homework some difficult questions also would be discussed in the next class, in the coming class. Okay, and after that on July 2nd week you would be having an examination. Clear? Related to this first chapter, knowing our numbers. So listen carefully. All of you must be ready for that examination. All of you need to score good marks because this is your first exam in our this academic year. Clear? This is a unit test and all of you should have to prepare well. Be ready for examination. Clear? For that you should have to revise all the topics that have been taken in this chapter very well. Okay, it must be clear, it must be thorough. Clear? So study it, revise it and be ready for examination. Clear? Now just came back to our topic. Our topic is estimation. Did you heard about the word estimation? The word estimation is used in different situations in our daily life. And in each situations, maybe that word having different meanings also. And here, when we say estimation, it is related to mathematics. So here we goes to discuss about estimation in mathematics. Clear? So let's have an idea about what is defined by estimation in mathematics. Here is the definition of estimation. So just read it. Estimation is finding the closest value. Estimation is finding the closest value without actual counting or calculations. Clear? So listen carefully. If we need the actual values or the correct values, either we need to count or we need to have some calculations so that we can have an exact value, correct value of some quantities. Clear? And if we do not need such calculations or if we do not want such calculations or counting, then we can have an estimation of the quantity. Clear? And that is what is referred here. That estimation is finding the closest value. We would be finding a closest value. Clear? Let's take an example and clear the concept of estimation and clear what is exactly referred as or what is exactly meant by estimation. Let's take an example and understand. Okay. Suppose your parents decided to build a new home or new house. Clear? With the money they have. They have some money with them and they are decided to build up a new home, a new house for you. Clear? And what they shall do? Did they do all the construction works and complete the house? No. They may be having some other works. Okay. So what they can do? They can approach some contractors and tell them that we need to construct a home. Then what would be the contractor do? First of all, the contractor prepare a good plan for your house, a picture for your house, and it would be according to our will or according to our desire. That contractor first of all build up a plan for your house. Clear? Then what the next the contractor will do? On the next, the contractor will prepare an estimate. The contractor will prepare an estimate related to the cost of construction of that house. Related to the cost of construction of that house, the contractor will prepare an estimate. And the contractor will come to your parents and would say, it would be around 50 lakh. Our estimation is around 50 lakh. They are saying, the contractor is saying the estimation or the estimated cost of building up your house would be 50 lakhs. What does it mean? It is just an estimation value. It is estimated value that 50 lakh, which is the cost of construction of our house or your house. Clear? Does it mean that the cost would be exactly 50 lakhs? We cannot say it because the construction not yet been started. We can say the exact cost of construction only after the construction is completed. But still we are considering an estimated value. Do you know what is the importance of this estimated value? So your actual cost of construction would be nearby of this value. Clear? Your actual construction cost would be nearby of this value. What does it mean? Your actual cost may be less than this value, and it can also be little bit greater than this value. Anyway, whether it is lesser or it is greater, it must be closest to this value. It must be closest to the value 50 lakh. Suppose your construction cost is 49 lakh or your construction cost is 47 lakh or your construction cost is 45 lakh. We can say that it is nearest to 50 lakh. And even if it is greater, if it is 51 lakh or if it is 57 lakh or it is 54 lakh or it is 54 lakh or it is some other values that are nearest to this 50 lakh, then we can consider this 50 lakh as an estimation or estimated cost of your construction. Clear? This is the only one condition we have been discussed related to estimation. Like this, on our daily life, we can use this concept of estimation in mathematics at different situations, and these estimates make our situations much more easier. Students, did you know how did our contractor reach this estimated value? Yes, estimation is done with the help of a process called rounding off. With the help of a process called rounding off. So rounding off is the process that helps to have an estimated value in mathematics. Clear? So for estimation, we must have an idea about rounding off. So let's have an idea about how the rounding off of different numbers can be done in different ways as per our requirement. Clear? Let's discuss about the concept of rounding off. I hope you are already familiar with the concept of rounding off. Still, we would discuss here the rounding off in detail. Okay, so we are going to discuss about rounding off to the different places. And out of that, we would be discussing about, first of all, we would be discussing about rounding off to the nearest 10. Nearest 10. So this would be our first topic, rounding off to the nearest 10. So let's take some examples and discuss about the concept of rounding off to the nearest 10. For that, first we consider the number 32. Here the question or our problem is that you should have to round off this number 32 to the nearest 10. Nearest 10. For rounding off to the nearest 10, first of all, what do you want to do is mark the digit at the tens place in the given number. Look at the given number, it is 32. And 2 is in the ones place and 3 is in the tens place. So first of all, just consider the number on the tens place because we need to round off to the nearest 10. So I am just marking the digit at the tens place and it is 3. Then consider the nearest digit or the next digit on the right of that tens place. You can see that at tens place here it is 3. And on the right of that 3, the digit is 2. Clear? The digit is 2. And this digit helps us to round off. If the digit at the next place is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4. If the digit at the next place is any of these one, we can remains this 3 as the same itself. We can remain the 3 as the same itself. So while we round off this 32 to the nearest 10, there would not be any change for this digit 3. And who decides the change for this digit? The next digit. The next digit decides the change. Whether there needs a change or not is decided by the next digit. If the next digit is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, we do not want to change the tens place. We need to write the same digit that is already on the tens place. And here it is 3. And we do not want to change it because the next digit the next digit to the number 3 or the digit 3 is 2, and 2 belongs to this category. And if the numbers are like this, any of these, then there is no change. No change. Then when would you want to change the digit? You want to change the digit if the numbers to the next are 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. If the digit on the next is any of these one, then we need to increase this digit. Increase this digit at the tens place by 1. Increase means it would become 4. But here we do not want to increase. Clear? Increase the digit by 1. Increase the digit by 1. So, whether we need to increase or decrease the digit at the tens place is decided by the next digit on the right. If the next digit on the right is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, we do not want to change the tens place. And if it is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, what we want to do is increase it by 1. Just add 1 to that digit. Clear? And then we should have to place 0. All the remaining digits can be replaced to be as 0. And here you can see that it is a 2-digit number. And here is the tens place. And thereafter only one place is there or one digit is there. And that digit must be marked as 0. It must be changed to 0. So that this 30 would be the round off or rounding off value to the nearest 10. And now we can say that the value the 32, the number 32 can be round off to the nearest 10 as 30. Clear? This is how rounding off to the nearest 10 can be done. Now let's check the remaining numbers also. Just round off these numbers. Which one is the next number? 28. Let's check how 28 can be round off to the nearest 10. First of all, just write the number 28. Now listen here, it is rounding off to the nearest 10. If it is rounding off to the nearest 10, then you should have to consider the digit at the tens place. Which is the digit at the tens place here? It is 2. Then what do you want to do? Whether sometimes you may want to change this number or remain this number as the same. And whether it is to be changed or not, it is decided by the next digit. So then you would have to consider the next nearest digit on the right. And it is 8. And check out whether 8 belongs to this one or this category. 8 belongs to the second category, right? And on second category, what we want to do? We want to increase the digit by 1. So on the tens place, here it is 2. And it would have to be increased by 1. 2 plus 1, which would become 3. And what do you want to do next? On next, you should have to change all the remaining digits on the right side to be 0. Clear? So that 28 can be round off to 30 if we are considering the rounding off to the nearest 10. So this is how rounding off can be done. Now let's check out how we can round off this 257 to the nearest 10. Tell me. First of all, you should have to consider the digit at the tens place. And you can see that here at the tens place it is 5. Then consider the next digit, nearest next digit on the right. And it is 7. And you know that 7 belongs to the second category. And if it is in the second category, then this 5 must be increased by 1. 5 plus 1 would become 6. So on the first, you should have to write 2 itself. There is no change for hundreds place, 2 itself. Then this 5, here this 5 need to be increased by 1 so that it would become 6. Then thereafter, all the digits must be replaced as 0 so that 260 would be the round off value. Clear? So I hope you clear about the concept of rounding off to the nearest 10. Now just do it faster. What would be the rounding off to the nearest 10 if we are considering the number 851? First of all, we should have to mark the tens place. Then consider the next digit. It is 1. And you know that 1 belongs to this category. And if it belongs to this category, then there is no change for the tens place. It is written as the number already here. Clear? So what would be the answer? 8. And there is no change for 5. 5 is written as 5 itself. And then the remaining numbers have to be replaced as 0. And as you can see that here only 1 digit is remaining and it has to be replaced as 0. So that the round off value would be 850. Clear? Okay. Now let's do the rounding off to the nearest 100, to the nearest 1000 and to the nearest 10,000, etc. This can also be done on the same way as we done the rounding off to the nearest 10. Clear? A few differences would be there. So let's check it out. How can you round off to the nearest 100? Here is a number given for you and it is 458. And you should have to rounding off to the nearest 100. What do you want to consider first is, since it is rounding off to the nearest 100, consider the place which is at 100. Consider the digit at the hundreds place. On the given number you can see that ones, tens, hundreds. This is the digit at the hundreds place. 4 is there. Clear? Then what do you want to do? As we done before, consider the next nearest digit on the right. And it is 5. Clear? You can see that it is 5. If it is 5, 5 belongs to this category. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Clear? This group. And if it is belonging to this group, what do you want to do? You should have to increase the hundreds place by 1. Just add 1 to the hundreds place. And here it is 4 on the hundreds place. And it must be increased by 1 so that it would become 5. Then the remaining, all the remaining digits on the right must be replaced as 0. So that this would be 0. And for this 8 also we should have to write 0. So that this 458 can be round off to 500. if we are considering the rounding off to the nearest 100. Clear? Similarly, how can you do this rounding off? This is also rounding off to nearest 100. First of all, you should have to mark digit at the hundreds place. Ones, tens, and here comes the hundreds place. And it is 7. Now, check whether this 7 is to be increased or is to be remained as the same. For that, consider the next digit. And it is 2. And you can see that this 2 belongs to this category 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this category, there is no change required for our hundreds place. So that you can write it as 1 is the same one. 7 also no change. But after 7, after the hundreds place, all the digits must be replaced as 0. How many digits are there? 2 digits. So that 1700 would be the round off value. Clear? Now similarly, you can do rounding off to the different places easily by using the same, by following the same method. Clear? How can you do rounding off to the nearest 1000? See, here is an example 3, 4, 8, 9. Round off to the nearest 1000. First of all, consider the digit at the thousands place. Ones, tens, hundreds, and at the thousands place it is 3. Then consider the digit next to it. Next to it, it is 4. Which group the 4 belongs? This group. What is the specialty? There is no change needed. So that this 3 is marked as 3 itself. And thereafter, all the remaining digits on the right must be replaced as 0. So 3000 would be the round off value of the given value, given number. Now just do it. 74,36,921. Round off to the nearest 1000. First of all, consider the digit at the 1000 place on the given number. Which is the digit at the thousands place? It is 6. And which is the digit next to it? Or next to it, it is 9. What shall we do? If it is 9, 9 belongs to this group 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We should have to increase the thousands place by 1. And here 7, 4. There would not be any change for that places. This 10,000s place 3 also would not be any change. And on to the thousands place. Here it is 6. Thereafter 9 is there, which belong to this group. So 6 is to be increased by 1 so that it would become 7. Then thereafter all the digits must be replaced as 0. So this would be the round off value. Now do it fast. It is rounding off to the nearest 10,000. What shall we want to do first? Consider the digit at the 10,000s place. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and here comes the 10,000s place. It is 2. Consider the digit next to it, and it is 3. And 3 belongs to this group. So this 2 need not to be changed. This 2 remains itself as 2. Then all other digits are replaced as 0. So that this would be 0. Then there is a comma. Again there is 0, 0, 0. This 20,000 would be the round off value. Now just do it. 32,89,431. Round off to the nearest 10,000. First of all, consider the digit at the 10,000s place. Ones, tens, 100, 1000. Here comes the 10,000s place. 8. Consider the digit next to it. It is 9. 9 belongs to this group. So this 8 is to be increased by 1. So that it would become 3, 2, then there is a comma. After that this 8 is increased by 1, 8 would become 9. Then all the remaining digits 0. 0, thereafter a comma, 0, 0, 0. This would be the round off value. So I hope you clear about how the rounding off of different numbers to the different places can be done. Now let's discuss about something more. Okay, here we go with the estimation in number operations. What is meant by estimation in number operations? You would be, suppose you would have been given some operations, mathematical operations on numbers, just like adding or subtracting or multiplying or dividing, and you don't want to calculate or you don't want to find the exact value, and instead you only want to do the estimation in that operation. And for doing that estimation, you would be informed that the given numbers would be first of all round off to certain places, to the nearest places, specified places. Clear? Then only you should have to do either addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. This is what is meant by estimation in number operations. And now we will check out how this estimation in number of operations can be done. Here is a question for you. Find the sum by suitable estimation. Which is the first question? 55 plus 98. Look at here. This is 55 plus 98. We can see that this calculation is easily done if we can round off both the numbers to the nearest 10. So which are the digits at the 10th place on both the numbers? Here you can see it is 5. And which is the next digit? It is again 5. 5 belongs to this category. So this 5 must be increased by 1 so that it would become 6. Then instead of this 5, remaining numbers must be 0. So that this 55 is now round off to 60. Again there is addition symbol. Now this 98 also need to be round off to nearest 10. Clear? So for that we consider the digit at the 10th place, which is 9. Consider the next digit, which is 8. 8 belongs to this category. So this 9 is to be increased by 1 so that it would become 10. 9 plus 1 would become 10. Then this 8 is written as the 8 itself. Sorry. Then this 8 is replaced as 0. All other digits must be 0 itself. Clear? So that 98 can be round off to 100. Now this calculation can be easily done. 100 plus 60, which would be answer 160 would be the answer. Clear? So this is how number can be round off and calculations or operations can be easily done. Now let's look at the second question and check how it can be done easily. Clear? In this second case, it is better to round off all the two given numbers to the nearest 100 so that this would become some hundreds. This also will become some complete hundreds. Then they can be easily added. How can you do it? consider the number 167, which is the digit at the hundreds place. We are going to round off to the nearest hundred. So which is the digit at the hundreds place? It is 1. So consider the next digit. On the next, it is 6. 6 belongs to this category. So this 1 has to be increased by 1 so that it would become 2. Then all the remaining digits replaced as 0 so that it would be round off to 200. Plus, it also want to round off to nearest 100. For that, consider the hundreds place. It is 5. Consider the next digit. It is 8. 8 belongs to this category. So this 5 must be increased as 6. Remaining digits must be 0. Now this can be easily done. 200 plus 600, which would be the answer? It would be 800. Clear? Now just do this. For doing this, listen carefully. For doing this calculation easily, you should have to replace this number by doing this, by doing some rounding off. Clear? And how can you do the rounding off here? Here we can round off. Here also we can round off to the nearest 100. Because this is a number which belongs to hundreds. And this is belonging to thousands. Which is the minimum? Here is the minimum. Hundreds is the minimum. So just round off to hundreds. Clear? That is the rule. So that this can be round off to the nearest 100. What would be the answer? First of all, consider the digit at the hundreds place. Then next digit is 3. And that 3 belongs to this group. So there is no change for this 1. Remaining digits must be 0. Then there is a plus sign. Now consider this number. This is also round off to the nearest 100. Consider the digit at the hundreds place, which is 6. Which is the next digit? 5. 5 belongs to this category. So this 6 has to be increased by 1. So that this 8 would be same. 6 we write 7. We are increasing 1. Now zeros on the remaining. So that 8,700 plus 100, which would be 8,800. This would be the answer. So I hope you clear about this problem. Now let's do another kind of problem. Now here there are some calculations for you, and you should have to find the answers for all these questions by suitable estimation. So obviously we are going to study how the suitable estimation can be done. How we can choose suitable estimation. Clear? While subtraction, addition and multiplication, etc. For subtraction, listen, for subtraction and addition, we consider the given numbers. Then count the number of digits. Here there are 3 digits and here there are 2 digits. Which is the minimum? Which is the number having minimum number of digits? It is the second one, 2-digit number. 2-digit number means tens. Clear? So we should have to round off both the numbers to the nearest 10. Clear? So how can you do this? First question, 126 minus 90. Both the numbers are just want to be round off to the nearest 10. Clear? So that 126, which is the digit at the tens place, it is 2. Consider the next one, it is 6. 6 belongs to this one. So increase it by 1. So that 1 is 1 itself, 2 is replaced as 3, and next would be 0. all other remaining digits replaced as 0. Then there is subtraction, and here it is 90. 9 is the digit here, which is the next one, 0. 0 belongs to this one, so there is no change needed. So 9 is written as 9 itself. Remaining digits must be 0. So that the answer would be 130 minus 90. By suitable estimation, this can be 130 minus 90. What would be the answer? It would be 40. 40 would be the answer. Now let's do the second problem. Which is the second one? Second one is 9312 minus 7603. Clear? And you can see that how many number of digits are there here. This is subtraction. For subtraction and addition, first count the number of digits. Here it is 4 digit. Here also it is 4 digit. 4 digit means ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Clear? So we are going to round off these numbers to the nearest thousand. Clear? So while considering 9312, 9 is on the thousands place. The next is 3. So there is no change for 9. 9 is 9 itself. Then all the digits 0. 9000. Then there is a subtraction. Now consider this number, which is the digit at thousands place. It is 7. For next, it is 6. 6 belongs to this one. So it must be 7 must be increased by 1, so that it would become 8. Then the remaining digits 0. So that 9000 minus 8000, it would be 1000. 1000 would be the estimated answer. Clear? Now let's do multiplication. For multiplication, there are some other rules related with the estimation. So let's check it out. Here is another question for you related to a multiplication operation, and it is 69 into 30. While considering multiplication, the rounding off is done separately for each numbers on that operation. So you consider 69 and 13 separately, and those can have different type of estimation. But in addition or subtraction, same type of estimation is done, or same type of rounding off is done. Here it is possible to have different rounding off for different numbers. Consider 69. Consider 69, which is the digit at the tens place. It is a 2-digit number, and the second digit or the digit at the tens place is 6. And this 69 is going to round off to the nearest 10. What would be the answer? Consider this 6 at the tens place, which is the next digit, 9. 9 belongs to this group, so this 6 must be increased as 7. Then the remaining digit is replaced as 0. Then there is an into. Here also it is a 2-digit number, so we want to round off it to the nearest 10. Ones, tens. 2-digit means ones, tens. So round off to the nearest 10. So that what would be the answer? Here it is 1 at the tens place, and on the next it is 3. 3 belongs to this group, so there is no change for 1. Then there would be 0. What would be the answer? 70 into 10. First of all, we should have to multiply 7 into 1. 7 into 1 is 7. Then how many zeros you can put? There are 1 0 here, 1 0 here. So that the answer would be having 2 zeros. So that the answer would be 700. Clear? So I hope you got the concept of rounding off and estimation in multiplication. In multiplication, estimation and rounding off, we consider separately. We consider the numbers separately and we do rounding off for them separately. Clear? Different rounding off for different numbers on the multiplication operation. Clear? Let's do another example. Here it is 1302 into 18. Consider those numbers separately. This 1308, it is a 4-digit number. 4 digit means ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Clear? So we must round off to the nearest thousand. Clear? For that, select the digit at the thousands place. It is 1. Which is the digit next to it? It is 3. And 3 belongs to this group. So no change for this 1. 1 is 1 itself, written as itself. Then all the digits 0. So this would round off to 1000. Again there is an into. Then consider this number separately. This is 18. A 2-digit number. 2 digit means ones, tens. So we are going to round off to the nearest 10. Consider the digit at the tens place. 1. The next is 8. 8 belongs to this category. So 1 must be increased by 1 so that it would become 2. Remaining digits 0. Now how this calculation can be done? The end 1 into 2. 1 into 2, that would be equal to 2. Then how many zeros? 3 zeros here, 1 zero here. 3 plus 1, 4 zeros. Clear? What would be the answer? 20,000. So I hope you clear about this. Now let's do the fifth problem. The fifth problem is 2350 into 17. How can you do this? We have to consider numbers separately. This number 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-digit number, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Clear? So we are going to round off to the nearest 1000. How it would become? Consider the digit at the thousands place, which is 2. Consider the next digit, which is 3. 3 belongs to this category. No change for this 2. 2 is 2 itself. All other digits are replaced as 0. Then there is an into sign. Now this 17. 17 means 2-digit number. Ones, tens. Round off to the nearest 10. So that round off to the nearest 10 means consider this 1 at the tens place. The next is 7. 7 belongs to this. So this 1 is increased by 1. So that it would become 2. The remaining digit is 0. Replaced as 0. What would be the answer? For that, 2 multiplied by 2. 2 twos are 4. Now how many zeros? 3 zeros here, 1 zero here. So a total of 4 zeros. What would be the answer? 40,000 would be the answer. So I hope you clear about estimation and the concept of rounding off and how we can do estimation in number operations. Which kind of number operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. In addition and subtraction, we consider all the numbers given for you and we check which number has the least number of digits. Then we consider rounding off all the given numbers to that specified digit or to that specified place. Clear? Suppose there is a 4-digit number and a 2-digit number. We would be considering the 2-digit number, the least one. 2-digit means ones, tens. Then on subtraction, we would be rounding off all the numbers into nearest 10. Clear? This is how addition or subtraction can be done. And in multiplication, we consider the numbers separately. And for each numbers, the possible or the suitable estimation or the suitable rounding off can be done. Clear? I hope it is clear from the questions we have been discussed. So now we are going to winding up this class, and there would be some homeworks related to this topic. All of you must have to do that and send it to me at the right time. Clear? So let's see in the next class. Thank you.